So welcome back to Mooresville, North Carolina, NASCAR's heartland, to GoPro Motorplex. The final race of the 2020 United States Pro Kart Series season is set to get underway. It is the KA100 Senior Sunday main event presented by Duke Spine Institute. Brandon Lemke and Hayden Jones, your front row. Nathan Cicero, Arias Duke Medjin, row 2. Paulie Massimino, Alex Bertignoli, row 3. It is one of the biggest grids the class has seen all year. A record-breaking turnout, more than 220 entries on the weekend, possibly over 230 with the final count. And we've got plenty of them on the racetrack right now. 22 laps, and we head down to turn 1. A couple drivers having to use the access road there, about 4 taking the cut through. Hopefully no one's going to get a cut course penalty as they rocket down the back straightaway. Lemke, the early leader. Cicero to second. Massimino to third from 5th. And it is Duke Medjin. Hayden Jones looks like he's been shuffled to 6th behind Alex Bertignoli. Everybody single file. Still no crashing so far. All 30 plus have made it through the opening first half lap as they rocket down to turn 8. And a lot of shuffling now from about 3rd or 4th on back. Your top 3 still single file. Brandon Lemke leading the train as they come out of turn number 9. This 100cc class, a little bit less horsepower than the X30 Pro division. And because of that, the packs and the drafting plays a much bigger factor. 1 lap complete. Your running order for the top 10. Brandon Lemke out in front. Nathaniel Cicero, Massimino, Duke Medjin, Bertignoli, the top 5. It's Hayden Jones, Josh Holtz, Hannah Greenemire, Austin Osborne in 9th. Ty Wettengel rounding the top 10. And again, they'll head down the backstretch and make their way over to turns 5 and 6 here on the 2nd lap. Lemke with about a kart length advantage over Cicero as they roll on through. So we'll see again anyone making any moves down to turn number 8 as they come into the corner. Looks like your leading group is about 8 strong, nearly 10 going back to Wettengel there. It's about a 2 kart length gap back from Hannah Greenemire. Then that bright black and yellow machine, the Fullerton entry of Mike McAndrews, runs in 11th. He was at the end of that shot. As your leader comes down the front stretch, though, they're tightly packed up front. 2 laps complete. Cicero looking. Oh, he's going to pay for it. He tucked back in line. Massimino throws it down the inside. So move Paulie up to P2. Cicero down to 3rd. Arias Duke Medjin bearing down as well. Here he comes inside. Oh, not there. He looked like he was trying to go. He's got his Kart Sport North America teammate right behind him. And they all stack back up again here. Your top 6 or 7 are nose to tail on the opening couple laps as they go down into the hairpin. And here we go, a couple drivers pulling out of line. That was for 3rd. There's Duke Medjin. Bertignoli trying to go through as well. Did he get it? He did. Nathan Cicero down to P5. Here comes Hayden Jones. He wants to get by the Rollison Performance Group driver as well. Nathaniel Cicero's first national full season as he jumped into the semi-pro division. He's going head-to-head with some drivers running double duty here, running KA100 Senior and X30 Pro. In fact, that is your entire top 5 right now, or at least top 4 with Jones P6. Now for 2nd, Duke Medjin to the inside on Brandon Lemke. He'll go through for P2. And Massimino for the lead. So Brandon Lemke down to the 3rd spot. I believe that pass was back in turn 8 last lap. So Paulie Massimino again leading the way. Duke Medjin up to 2nd. Lemke going to hold on to 3rd. Looks like Bertignoli will stay in P4. Ty Wettengel, Austin Osborne latching on closer now to the end of this train. Again, Mike McAndrews looks like Nolan Allison right with him as well. They'll climb the hill to the final corner. 4 laps going to be complete this time by Paulie Massimino, the Pied Piper in Mooresville, as the Mike Doty Racing Cosmic leads down to turn 1. Change for 5th. That was Hayden Jones, but it didn't look super clean. Not necessarily over-aggressive, but just not the best pass. I think they almost locked wheels coming at the end of it with Jones's rear tire and Cicero's front. So that's given a little gap now to your top 4. Massimino, Duke Medjin, Lemke, Bertignoli, single file, but they have already shuffled a couple times this race. I don't know if they are going to take advantage of the fact they've got a little gap over the field. In fact, they won't. Look at that. Duke Medjin to the inside on Paulie Massimino. Lemke trying to follow, and he's going to lose 3rd for it. He tucks back in line. Bertignoli gets through. So Arias Duke Medjin now goes to the front for the first time here on lap number 5. Massimino 2nd, Bert 3rd, Lemke is 4th, Cicero's been again pushed back to P5 or P6 as Hayden Jones moves into the top 5. Hayden Jones won his first career KA100 senior national race the day prior on Saturday with a great last lap battle with AJ Myers and Brandon Lemke. Myers had a crash in the pre-final, had to start near the edge of the top 30, so he's got a long way to go to charge forward. We stay locked in on our front-running group, though. A little gap for your top 2 back to P3 with Bertignoli having Lemke right behind him. They're going to try and work their way back up to the top 2, and it looks like they caught about a cart length there through the hairpin. So one single file line of go-karts as they come back up the hill to turn number 11 again. Arias Duke Medjin out in front. And nobody really changing position all too much throughout the field here as they complete lap number 6 and start lap number 7. Mike McAndrews, Nolan Allison there behind them. I believe that's AJ Myers already to the outside edge of the top 15 that was battling there for 13th or 14th. Not 100% sure, but it looked like we saw the magic card at the end of that shot. Either way, though, up front, again, it is all single file, bumper-to-bumper action. Duke Medjin, P1. Here comes Bertignoli, it looks like, for second. He'll take that away from Paulie Massimino, but a little bobble gives Arias Duke Medjin the biggest lead we've seen all race, and here comes Lemke. He'll go on Massimino. Here comes Hayden Jones as well. Paulie Massimino to the runoff. Nathan Cicero trying to get by. He'll go through. Massimino from second all the way down to 6th there in one set of corners. Here comes Hannah Greenemire as well down to turn 1. Oh, Massimino going to try it back on Cicero, so he'll fight that backward wave of momentum. And now they're going to throw Cicero to the wayside. That move there to turn 3 was Greenemire down the inside of her teammate. It looks like she may have shuffled him back a little bit. So Hannah Greenemire now up to P6. Cicero 7th. Holtz is 8th. And then again, Ty Wettengel, Austin Osborne there for 9th. Looks like they've swapped spots. Osborne back to P10. Nolan Allison 11th. Mike McAndrews 12th at the end of that shot there in turn 6. We've got more shuffling here in turn 8. That one looked to be Brandon Lemke going on by on Alex Bertignoli. So Lemke in the Franklin Motorsports Merlin goes to 2nd. Bert back to P3. Hayden Jones, P4. The Nitro Kart driver methodically, slowly cutting his way towards the front. He's watching some of these more experienced senior racers in front of him go at it a little bit more. Arias Duke Medjin has had a couple years in the senior division, as has Brandon Lemke. He's the 2016 United States Pro Kart Series champ in the X30 Pro division, so he's working his 5th full senior season. Alex Bertignoli, a longtime senior driver as well. He moved up the year after. And now for the lead. There goes Lemke to the inside on Arias Duke Medjin. He'll take the lead away. So Brandon Lemke to the top spot. Arias Duke Medjin back to 2nd. Still right there. And very impressive, by the way, for Arias. He did not show up to Friday practice or Thursday. He's been training for the CIK FIA World Karting Championships over in Portugal and was trying to manage his time getting back and forth into the States for the season finale of the US Pro Kart Series. He trails in the championship from Brandon Lemke. Unfortunately, didn't have the best Saturday, so Lemke's got a commanding point lead coming into Sunday's main event. The good news, though, it means everybody can go all out for the win without the stress of potentially messing up the title fight, as we saw a pass for 3rd, by the way, this time through turn 1. That was Alex Bertignoli getting shuffled back by Hayden Jones. So again, talking about going for wins, Jones has not run the KA division full-time at every national event he's been at, but he's running a whole lot here at GoPro Motorplex on the club racing schedule. So he's got a lot of laps here. He calls Charlotte, North Carolina his home. He is looking to try and see if he can sweep the weekend. That would be very impressive and a fantastic cap on the 2020 national calendar for the senior rookie. It'll be halfway next time by. 11 laps complete, 11 to go here out of 22. It is still an 8, nearly 10 kart train up front, and they are going to freight train Brandon Lemke for the lead there. Arias Duke Medjin, Hayden Jones, Alex Bertignoli, Paulie Massimino is through. Greenemire gets through as well, so he goes from 1st down to 6th. Hannah Greenemire into the top 5 for the first time today. More shuffling here into the hairpin. That's going to be for 2nd. Looks like that might have been Massimino. Oh, there's more shuffling. Massimino to 2nd. Bertignoli to 3rd. Hayden Jones is back. One more driver going to go to the runoff here. A couple, actually. Here comes Greenemire for third on Bertignolli. She'll get through. Let's get the updated running order when they come by the stripe here at the halfway mark. Duke Medjin with a big lead. Paulie Massimino second. Hannah Greenemire third. Bertignolli, Jones in the top 5. Cicero is 6th. Josh Oates is 7th. Brandon Lemke got pushed all the way down to the 8th spot. He was just getting put in the wrong lane, corner after corner that lap. As we see Oates there down the inside on Cicero, so that'll move Josh Oates up to P6. All the while, this shuffling is exactly what the midfield needs. You can see now coming into the shot a little bit more. More drivers outside your top 10 as we see more battling. That's for, I think, 6th or 7th. I don't know if that was Oates or Cicero, but your top 5 with the gap. Duke Medjin, Massimino, Greenemire, Bertignolli, Jones. Maybe a second or so back to the second group. That's a decent margin we've got now. It was Lemke going on by. You just see him at the end of the shot. So he's into 6th. Nathaniel Cicero going to go to turn 1. He's still holding on. Misses the corner a little bit, though. Austin Osborne right on his tail. Ty Wettengel right there. Mike McAndrews is now in the top 10. Josh Oates got, I believe, shuffled wide there in the skirmish they had in the hairpin. He is outside the top 10 now and a little ways back from that group. While we were talking about that, though, Hayden Jones going by into 4th. On Alex Bertignolli through the bowl that time. So your top 5, again, a little shuffle there for 4th, but for the most part, they're content to ride single file. We'll see if this is going to lead them away from the field or if they're going to start battling again before the final couple laps and bring more drivers into the fight, because they've got just a small advantage back to Brandon Lemke and Nathan Cicero here as we work lap number 14. You can see a couple karts here off in the wayside in turns 1 and 2. That was a wreck outside the top 15. I believe Darren Marcus, one of the drivers involved. Everybody okay, though, so we stay green, we stay racing as they work their way out of turn 4. So into the infield section again. Massimino has finally closed that gap to Arias Duke Medjin. It looks like Alex Bertignolli is fading backwards, but here comes a challenge for the lead. Massimino through on the inside. It looks like Hannah Greenemire has gone through as well, so Arias Duke Medjin down to 3rd. And here comes Alex Bertignolli. One pass, he's already cut that gap back in half to the top 4. 8 laps to go now for your leader, Paulie Massimino. Started P5 here in the final today. Qualified 7th in the pre-final, just slowly worked his way up, but kind of stayed in the hunt. And now, again, leading here in the second half of the KA100 senior main event on Sunday. Hannah Greenemire coming through the field from even deeper on the starting grid, but she's got a lot of pace, and it's looking like it's coming on at the right time. Arias Duke Medjin, Hayden Jones still there. Again, Alex Bertignolli slipping backwards just a little bit, but luckily they're going to pass again for the lead. This time, it's Greenemire. And so the Colorado native, Hannah Greenemire, goes through to the lead. Massimino back down to 2nd. Duke Medjin will hold on to 3rd. Was not able to follow her on by. Hayden Jones still P4, and again Alex Bertignolli gets kind of a gift there. Every time he seems to almost slip away from the leaders, they pass, he closes the gap back up. With 7 laps to go now, working lap number 16. Brandon Lemke slowly trying to get inch his way just closer into the pack. He needs only maybe 1 or 2 more passes, and he's going to start getting some drafting help here from the top 5. Nathaniel Cicero coming along with him. You can see Mike McAndrews in the Fullerton. He had a rough go Saturday. Didn't even really get, I think, more than a lap or 2 before having to DNF due to a mechanical failure. So now he's up into the top 10 and in P8, closing up to the lead group as well. Nolan Allison has also gone by Ty Wettengel. Austin Osborne has slipped back. I believe it looks like he's got a tire going flat. It's hard to see. It's off the screen right now, but he is outside your top 10. I believe just now outside the top 15. Pass for 3rd. Hayden Jones down the inside on Paulie Massimino. Your leader, Hannah Greenemire, 3 kart lengths back to Arias Duke Medjin, who's gone into 2nd. But he's going to get a big shove. Now going to get past. Jones going to go for it on his own as he goes through 2 spots in 2 different corners on lap number 17. So Hayden Jones, the rookie, closing up to 3rd-year senior driver Hannah Greenemire. Hannah scored a major national victory earlier this year in January and February. Had a fantastic run in winter training. And she has been so strong. All 3 years of her senior career has been arguably one of the fastest drivers on the racetrack when she can put it together. But it was just a matter of time when she finally got into the winner's circle. She was so close again yesterday as well, and now leading 5 to go here in KA100 senior. Hannah, one of the many drivers pulling double duty, as we mentioned earlier. Hayden Jones is also competing in X30 Pro. Arias Duke-Medjin, of course, he's in the championship fight in that division, was inside the top 5 in points coming in, just like he was here in 100cc. Alex Bertignoli has made a couple X30 Pro starts, but after the opening round of the season, focused his efforts here on KA100. Brandon Lemke, a double duty driver, and Nathan Cicero, only the second driver inside the top 7, not competing in X30 Pro here. So this is a very stacked lead group for what's supposed to be kind of our semi-pro or support class. This time by, it's going to be 4 laps to go for Hannah Greenemire. Hayden Jones is still right there. Your top 6 are now together because Brandon Lemke has latched on to Alex Bertignoli. He's going to push him for a little bit, maybe work him up to the lead group. As we now shift back, that is A.J. Myers in the 28. The white suit there has moved into the top 10. He has gone by Mike McAndrews. He is up to Nolan Allison. Myers, again, outside the top 25 on the starting grid after a crash. He was in the lead group yesterday, so a flip or roll reverse from Paulie Massimino, who had to drive from the back of the field in the Saturday final, and then now is in the lead group. A.J. Myers was in the lead group yesterday. He's driving forward from the back on the Magic Kart entry. I believe he is the biggest mover in terms of positions thus far. Might be able to get a little more, but he's a good ways back. You can see a couple seconds from your top 7. He has gone by Nolan Allison now, who throws a little block there on McAndrews, but we'll shift our efforts back up front. Greenemire the leader, Duke-Medjin second, Massimino is now third. Hayden Jones has been shuffled to the edge of the top 5 as Brandon Lemke just went by. Alex Bertignoli is still P6, holding on to the end of this lead group, but it's 3 now up front. And there is Nathan Cicero. He is almost there at the leaders, just needs another pass or two, and it'll back him up right to the 982 machine. Into turn 8 here, 2.5 laps to go. Hannah Greenemire trying to get that first career United States Pro Kart Series victory. Through turn 9, the gap closes. Arias Duke-Medjin now only a kart length away as they're going to climb the hill to the final corner. Will he pass for the lead there? No, he won't, but we're going to get 2 laps to go. The double sticks in the air. Hannah Greenemire out in front. Arias Duke-Medjin now right on her tail, and he's got 4 more drivers right behind him, and then along with Nathan Cicero at the edge of your shot. Down the backstretch here. A lap and a half remaining. Here comes Duke-Medjin. Greenemire thought about a block. She's going to get freight trained. Massimino is through. Lemke tries to go as well. Greenemire going to hang on tough. She will hold on to third and fend off the charge from the Merlin driver for now as they run through the kink and into the hairpin. Second to last time we'll get down to this corner. Single file. No passes in your top 6. Arias Duke-Medjin, the leader. Paulie Massimino right behind him. Duke-Medjin looking for a max points day to at least try and secure second in the championship. We mentioned earlier Brandon Lemke's got it all but locked up minus an unsportsmanlike DQ. So he's just got to ride, bring it home. White flag. Here come your leading group of 6 to turn 1. No passes there. It will happen maybe on the back straightaway. I'm sure Duke-Medjin's going to try and cover off the inside, but Massimino, can he get there before it? Duke-Medjin to the bottom. Massimino goes to the outside. He's going to send it deep around the outside in turn 4. Paulie Massimino to the lead. What an incredible move. They're 2 and 3 abreast, now single file through turn 6. It's all been shaken up. Massimino leads into turn 8. He's going to block down to the bottom. Greenemire follows. Lemke, crossover move for second. They'll go door to door, and that is going to give a big gap to Massimino, maybe. Oh, he's had to block into 9, but he's got a kart length lead. That should hold. Greenemire now going to have to fight for second, and Lemke finds the hole. That's all behind the leader, though. Paulie Massimino wins KA Senior. Oh, man, that was absolutely incredible. And around the outside pass in turn 4, Greenemire gets Lemke just by a nose at the line. Alex Bertignoli ends 4th. Nathaniel Cicero rounds the top 5. But Paulie Massimino, we did not see anyone around the outside in turn 4 all weekend. He makes it stick for the lead and the win on the final lap of the final race in the 2020 USPKS season. I don't know if you could have asked for a better 22-lap main event to close out the calendar year. It's been an insane year, of course, but the fact they got all 6 rounds of the championship in, 3 different racetracks, 3 different race weekends, and we cap it off like that. Hats off here to the Mike Doty Racing driver, Paulie Massimino, your winner on Sunday in KA100 Senior.